Today on Drawbli,
Ben is doing his homework.
my homework.
Yes.
Click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
And if you're doing some homework, share it online with the hashtag Drawbli.
So Ben, tell us about the homework assignment.
The homework assignment was very hard. Maybe the hardest assignment that we've done from our course that we've been doing. This one involved creating color palettes from some images based on, colors that you liked in that image. You can see a few of them over on the top left. Then trying to, this was kind of like the hard mode version of it, but trying to paint a quick sketch using said colors. So this was my very first attempt at that, just using one of these color palettes at random. And wow, this first one did not go over so well for me, but they get a lot better as they go. So this was my first attempt. We're gonna fly through like a few quick versions of this pretty quick. Like I said, I get better as I go, and as I start to figure out more of what works with this kind of idea and what doesn't. The one that actually is the best, and here's my second one, my technique real quick was just grabbing a photo, setting it to black and white so that I didn't inherently think about like colors of skin tone or clothing or hair, and I would just use my color palette kind of randomly. If the skin ended up blue or red, it was whatever. Like, it just, whatever happened. Because, skin can be blue or red depending on lighting. So that was a lot of fun, and something that I started to play with a lot more, as you'll see here in my more polished color sketch. But yeah, a lot of fun. You also did this assignment, right?
I did. And we'll see that in the next video. What do you think was the hardest part of the assignment to you?
I mean, first of all, painting a portrait is a lot of work, just in general. Man, colors are, at first, we're using these color palettes and trying to integrate them into a quick sketch, like what we're doing. First of all, your sketch can look really bad, and then anything you throw on top of that isn't gonna really look super great either. Second of all, I didn't really know how at first to utilize these colors in the best practice, because we're finding these color palettes that we like, and then we're trying to use them in a way with this that makes some sort of sense, and that's tough.
It is. It really is.
I mean, it was tough for me.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, it was tough for me too.
But I started figuring it out a lot more after these three. So these were like my three quick sketches. I think they were like 5 or 10 minutes each.
That's awesome for 5 or 10 minutes.
They were meant to be super rough, but this is the one that I spent a lot more time on, maybe an hour or so.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
Maybe a little less. I can look at the time. But I was really liking how this sketch was coming together, and that is kind of what led me to want to play with the colors a lot more. Also, as you can see, I don't have a color palette from an image. So I had even more fun with this because I just experimented with colors of my own choice.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I want the hair to be some kind of purple. So I played with desaturating that. I think my goal was to do like red and green here.
Okay.
And then get like a little bit of purple as well. So you'll see some of that kind of come into play here as I start just scribbling some colors around, trying to find a direction.
I like it. You're creating your own color palette, creating your own lighting. That's really fun. I think that's awesome.
Thank you. Did you experiment with, your own color palettes at all? Like creating one from scratch like this?
No, to me, that wasn't the spirit of the assignment, or my brain. Whoa! Oh my gosh!
Your brain, my brain.
My brain didn't think outside the box that way.
Okay.
My brain was, the assignment is to pull colors from existing images and try to understand that color palette and utilize it in a sketch. And my brain did not go outside of that box like yours did. So congratulations. I like these colors that you're doing.
The color zones of the face, the very simplified versions of them.
Yes, can't go wrong there. And I like the way you've set up your sketch. I like the angle of her shoulders, and I like the planes of her face.
Thank you. I very intentionally tried to design the silhouette of this portrait into something that was visually interesting. And as I've done a little bit of that now, like the groundwork, but I do a lot more of it as I continue forward. So you'll see some of that happen a little more. And I'm very happy with the way this one turned out. It still kind of has this sketchy feel at the end. So
Ooh,
it's like,
I love a sketchy feel.
it's retained some of that. You love the sketchy feel?
Yes.
What is it about the sketchy feel that you love so much?
What is the appeal of the sketchy feel? What's the deal with sketchy appeal?
Yes, that's the question.
Welcome to my slam poetry session. I don't know. What is it about the sketchy look that can be similarly appealing to a fine, finished piece of art? You're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
Something about the organic, like, randomness of a sketch almost. Like there's some texture in there, and there was a small skip in the video there. Apologies. There was about a 10-minute filling in the outside edge as I grew that I was like, that's not worth watching. So it was just me kind of painting the border around the outside.
Nice.
But maybe some of like the lively energy that you have in a sketch, like the randomness of it. I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. Comment below. What do you like about sketches? What's the secret,
what do you
guys?
think the reason is that we are drawn to sketches in general? I like your rim light on her other side with like that brighter green there. That's really cool. I think that adds a lot. And of course your planes of the face, the way you light planes of the face is very I always feel like it's very knowledgeable.
I did a very basic like side light here that's the triangle of the face on the one side. It's all very very textbook, I would call it. So
Yes.
nothing too special. Oh, and I actually do have one more sketch after this one that I forgot to mention. But it's actually something I would like to return to in the future. I didn't have enough time to really polish it up, but I did enjoy how the sketch was starting. Very similar to this one, actually, where I would like to take it to a more finished result.
She looks like a mermaid rising out of the sea with like greenish hair.
That's
really
exactly what I
beautiful.
was going for.
Yeah, now that I see
Not
it
at
like
all.
in that way, it's a whole new light to me. It adds a story to it. Story is something I've heard a lot of people talk about for art.
You have to know how to make art first, it turns out, to start adding this. Well, actually, not necessarily true. If you look at artists like One, who is the creator of the manga One Punch Man.
You just have to be able to do everything really well.
Oh, that's
But
it.
she looks like she's rising out of the sea and she's a mermaid and she's beautiful and that's really cool.
So actually, I used the photo of the woman to like start this sketch, but after the fact, I didn't really think. I actually thought of this as a male character because I just used the reference photo as an initial, like, get some lines down.
A merman.
So, hence why I have a lot of that blue kind of around the lower
Well,
section
that
of the
just
face.
makes me see it totally differently, and that's cool
a little
too.
androgynous.
Yeah.
Androgynous?
Even more
Is there a T on
interesting
the
to
end of
see
that
him
word?
coming out of the ocean because you don't see that every day.
And this is my final color sketch. This one will go by super quick. But I was enjoying how this one was kind of coming together a little bit, and it's something that I would like to return to. Colors, like, now that we're actually starting to think about colors more, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. What about you?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a huge learning curve, and I think when you see my video, you'll see that I am in the learning portion. Like, I'm not connecting all the dots quite yet, but I'm having a great time trying to figure it out, and I think I really am, like, learning. But that's the thing about learning. Learning doesn't always look good.
I think I'm learning. I will say that, I, as a 3D artist, work a lot with color as well. So I do have quite a bit of a leg up on you in terms of just using color in general.
Yeah, you always color your finished sculpts beautifully.
I thank you. Don't get too discouraged by anything that I do here that maybe feels like a step above you.
Okay.
If that is even the case. I haven't seen your color sketches yet, and I'm gonna take a wild guess that they are even better than mine.
No, this one's really good. She's extremely clean, and that is, I found with this practice, extremely hard to do, to keep things looking clean instead of muddy and pushed around. Oh, I love her makeup. It's like very,
I had started to, I had started to paint the face, and I was like, oh, I don't have enough time to finish or blend or do anything, so there it is.
That's cool. No, it gives it an area of interest it would not otherwise have.
And if you want to see more of an area of interest that you might not otherwise have, you should click that subscribe button.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve.
Share some art online with the hashtag Drawbli and
this is the part where we say goodbye.
Goomba. You called my artwork a clown?
Clown core. So clown core is when a pretty girl does her makeup to emulate the vibe of another thing. You can have pigeon core. There's pigeon kin. That's a whole different thing.
Pigeon core?
Well, there's not to be confused with kin.
I don't want to hear any more about pigeon clown core.
It's just inspiration. It's where we take our muses from.